A good day and welcome to our class. Today we want to talk about Roche theorem. So we have said this before in our last video. So we state Roche theorem as follows. So we have the Roche theorem here. The theorem says that if a function f of s is continuous in a closed interval a comma b, and also the function is also differentiable in an open interval a comma b, then that one, if the function is such that f of a is equal to f of b, that is these numbers here, then there exists a point c in that open interval this, such that derivative of f of s at that point must be equal to 0. So that is what the theorem is saying. Now let's prove the theorem. So here now we have said that the function is continuous. So we can now say that since f of s is continuous on a comma b, then it must be bounded on the interval. So if a function is continuous on a certain interval, then it must be bounded on it. So then by a completed axiom, which says that if a set is bounded, it must have supremum and infimum. So in that case, we can let m and this big m be our supremum and infimum, as we have written it out. So we let m to be infimum and let this capital letter m to be supremum of f of x. Now because we have these two cases arise. So case 1, if this small m is equal to big M, if you have a case whereby the supremum is equal to infimum, definitely such function is a constant function. So if f of s, if this m is equal to this, then f of x must be constant. So that is, let's say f of x is equal to constant alpha. So from this place, we know that differentiating any constant alpha will give me 0. We differentiate any constant, so f prime of s is 0. So if you put any point inside the open interval this, any point, if you consider any point c, any point at all, it will still be 0 because the derivative is already 0. Now we will not consider a case. We'll consider a case whereby the supremum is not equal to infimum. So if you have this case, then we are going to have this. By normal inequality, we are going to have this. M will be less than or equal to f of a, f of b, which is less than or equal to m. The reason why we are putting comma there is because, remember, I can put equal to there. They are the same thing. Remember here we say that if f of a is equal to f of b. So since they are not equal, then it will be of this format. This is how we are going to write it. This is how we write bounded function. Now, this thing means two things. The first thing, it means m is less than f of a or f of b. Also, it also means f of a, or let me say this capital letter m, is greater than f of a or f of b. Now let's consider the first one. The first part, m is less than or equal to, let's say f of a is equal to f of b. So if you use this, let us represent m. Let's say our m is some f of c. So c belongs to open interval a comma b. So let's represent it. Now from this place now, what we can have here is f of c is less than or equal to f of a or f of b, because f of b and f of b are equal. Now if f of c is less than or equal to this, or let me pick any one of the two, if you write it like this, then f of c attains its local minimum there, because by definition of local minimum, we have that f of a is less than or equal to f of x. So the same thing, we have created this yesterday. So f of a is less than or equal to f of b there. So in that case, we say that f of c attains its local minimum. So, and by local extremum theorem. F prime of c will be equal to 0. So in three cases, we have that our f of c is 0, and that completes the Rolle's theorem, the Rolle's theorem. So we will now take an example on this Rolle's theorem. So we have our example here. Verify the Rolle's theorem for f of x equal to sin x in this interval, closed interval 0, pi. Hence, find the point C such that C belongs to open interval 0, pi. Now, solution. The first thing is our f of x is equal to sin x. Without any stress, you see that in this closed interval, sin x is continuous. That is, f of 0 or any number here, if you put it in sign, it will be divine. The limit will exist. The three conditions for continuous function. So f of x is continuous. Also, f of x is differentiable in this open interval 0, pi. That is, if you differentiate it, it will become cos x. So whatever we have there, it will still go. So in that case, satisfy Rolle's theorem. Now, we need to find f of 0, f of a, b, this one and this one. F of 0, which is sin 0, and sin 0 is 0. Also, we need to find the second one, f of pi, which is sin pi. Sin pi will be 0 as well. So, it has further shown that it satisfies Rolle's theorem, because f of a is equal to f of b. By Rolle's theorem, we say that it must satisfy the three properties, which is this: f of a is equal to f of b. Now, we have done that. We need to differentiate in order to find our c. F prime of x, if you differentiate, it will give you cos x. So let's put c there. Cos x is equal to cos c. Don't forget that let's say by Rolle's theorem or Rolle's theorem, we know that f prime of c must be 0 if it satisfies these three properties. So from that place, we can see that cos c is 0. Then c will be arc cos 0. But arc cos 0 will give me pi over 2. That is 90 degrees. But we use pi over 2 here. So our c is pi over 2. So in that case, we have found c. So we have to find c. So we have found c in this open interval. So we cannot write it as 0 is less than pi over 2 is less than pi, because it must satisfy these three. It must satisfy this. The c must be in between these two. You can see that 0 is less than this, and pi over 2 will be less than pi. So hence Rolle's theorem has been verified. So let's move to another important theorem. But before that, take this as exercise. So we have the exercises there. So verify the Rolle's theorem for this, if it satisfies this. So let's move to the mean value theorem. So this is the mean value theorem. So Lagrange mean value theorem, or simply we call it mean value theorem. The theorem says that if a function is just close to that of Rolle's theorem, it says that if a function f of x is continuous in a closed interval this, and differentiable in an open interval, this at least satisfy these two properties. Then there is this point C in this, such that f prime of C is equal to f of B minus f of A over B minus A. So what is something is just saying is this. Let's say we have a function here, and we have A here, and we have B here. So this will be f of this place will be f of A, and here will be f of B. So definitely this point will be A comma f of A. This one is B comma f of B. So if you make use of equation of a straight line, so what he's saying is that f prime of C is the gradient of this line, and if you know the gradient, that is y2 minus y1 f of B minus f of A over s2 minus s1 B minus A. So that is what mean value theorem or Lagrange mean value theorem is talking about. So let's prove it. So in order to prove it, we will still use this thing, this. So we are going to construct a function on this format that will satisfy the Rolle's theorem. So that is, let's define a function g of s such that g of s will be equal to this. This is f of x minus what we showed the other time over b minus a. Then we put x here. Now this function must satisfy the Rolle's theorem. Let's first test whether it satisfies the Rolle's theorem. So to test, we need to find g of a. You find g of a, anywhere you see s, you put it as a. So we have this. So if you simplify, you are going to have b times f of a over b minus a minus this one will be a f of b over b minus a. Now let's find g of b. If you find g of b, so that is, you put s to be b here. Anywhere you see s, you put it as b. So we have this. Now if you simplify further, when we simplify, so we should have minus a f of b over b minus a plus f this over b minus a. So you see that this thing and this thing are the same after we simplified. So this implies that g of a is equal to g of b. So hence g of x satisfies the Rolle's theorem. So since g of s satisfies the Rolle's theorem, then g prime of x must be 0. So g prime of s must be 0. So that means we need to differentiate this. So let's find g prime of s. G prime of s, or let's put g prime of s. If you put g prime of s, we are going to have f prime of x minus this. If you differentiate, this will be gone. It will remain this. So which will be equal to 0. So let's put s to be c. So g prime of c will now become f prime of c minus this, minus f of b minus f of a over b minus c, which is equal to 0. So this simply implies that f prime of c is equal to, if you make this a formula, take this to the other side, you have f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And that completes the proof of the Rolle's theorem. Let's take an example on this. The proof of the mean value theorem. So we have our example here. We want to verify the mean value theorem, or we say Lagrange mean value theorem, for this function in this closed interval. I want to find c. So without any stress, this function is both continuous and differentiable in the closed interval and the open interval respectively. So what we'll now do is, let's find f of 1. Anywhere we see 1, s, we put it as 1. This is 2 plus 3 plus 4. and this is 7, this is 9. So we need to find f of 2. So that is, anywhere we see s, we'll put it as 2. So that we have 2 into, this will become 4. Plus 3 into 2 plus 4. So that is, to put s to be 2 here. So if we simplify this, we see that it is 18. If it is a Rolle's theorem, so if it is for the Rolle's theorem, they must be the same thing. But under mean value theorem, or Lagrange mean value theorem, it's not necessary they are the same, because the theorem does not tell us so. So, but we need it. So since we have found this, we need to find the derivative of x, f of x. Let's find this. This is 4s plus 3. Then let's put c there. Our c will be 4c plus 3. Don't forget, by mean value theorem. By mean value theorem, f prime of c is this. Now, our f of c is f prime of c is 4c plus 3 equal to f of b. You know, this is our b. Our b is 2. Our a is 1. So that we have 18 minus 9 divided by 2 minus 1. So this implies 4c plus 3 equal to, this should give me 9. 4c plus 3 equal to 6. Then c is equal to 3 over 2. So we have found the value of c, which is 3 over 2. And you must make sure that it lies between this interval. That is interval this. So that is 1 is less than 3 over 2, and 3 over 2 must be less than 2. So in that case, we have solved the question. Let's consider another example. So let's consider this important question. Use mean value theorem to show that this is less than this, less than this. If 0 is less than a, is less than b. Hence, deduce that this happens. Now, solution. Without stressing ourselves, you see that we are giving arctan here. So in that case, we need to let f of s to be equal to arctan x. Then f of a, we are dealing with a and b as point. F of a will be arctan a. F of b will be arctan b. Then let's differentiate as usual. So our f prime of x, if you differentiate arctan s, it will give you 1 over 1 plus x squared. So don't forget that we normally put c there. C will be 1 over 1 plus this, c squared. So by mean value theorem, f prime of c is equal to this. That is by mean value theorem. So let us now put it there. Our f prime of c is this. Our f of b is arctan b minus f of a is arctan a over b minus a. Now, if you bring this one here, we are going to have that b minus, okay, let's keep that for now. We are still coming there. Let me put this as equation 1. So since this thing satisfies mean value theorem, the f of c, so definitely we must have that c lies between a and b. You know, here we have been given that a is less than b and a is greater than 0. So this thing simply means that a will be less than c, will be less than b. And if you have this, if you square it, if you square both sides, we have this. A square is less than this, which is still this. If you add 1 to it, so that is, it will still be the same thing. I squared it, and I'm adding 1 to both sides. So the inequality remains. But if I find the reciprocal, the reason why I'm finding the reciprocal is because of this. If I find the reciprocal, this will come here, this will come here. So it will be 1 over 1 plus b square is less than 1 over 1 plus c square, which is less than 1 over 1 plus a square. So this comes here, this comes here. Which is this? It will be less than b minus a over 1 plus a square. And that is what we are asked to show. But the question says that we should deduce this. So let's continue. But if you look at what they asked us to show there, I can see arctan 4 over 3. Definitely, one of these two is 4 over 3, and there's no minus here. Definitely, our b is 4 over 3. And as you can see that this one is not more there, there is pi over 4. So, without stressing ourselves, we should know that our a is 1 and our b is 4 over 3. So, in that case, we will now say that let a be equal to 1 and b be equal to 4 over 3. So, we need to substitute it here, so that this thing will become our b, which is 4 over 3 minus 1 over 1 plus b squared. No, this is our b. Our b squared will now be 16 over 9. This is less than arctan 4 over 3 minus arctan 1, which is less than our b 4 over 3 minus 1 divided by 1 plus a squared. Our a is 1, so we have 1 squared there. So when we simplify, we have the following. So we have this when we simplify. So our arctan 1 is pi over 4. So by transferring minus pi over 4 to the other side, we have our required result. So the result has been proved as required. So you can take the following as exercise. So for this first two, you verify the Rolle's theorem there, the mean values theorem at this interval. And this last, to use the mean value theorem to prove these two. Now another important one is generalized mean value theorem, or we call it Cauchy mean value theorem. Now the Cauchy mean value theorem. So this one is dealing with two functions. So if two functions f and g are continuous, both continuous on the closed interval a comma b, and they are both differentiable on the open interval a comma b, and if the second function g of s, if the derivative is not equal to 0 for all s in this open interval, then we say that there exists a point c, a certain point c in this open interval a comma b, such that f prime of c over f of c is equal to this. So the proof of this is similar to the proof of the Lagrange mean value theorem. So the proof will be left as exercise, but I will help you to construct the function. So the function has been given here. So we'll construct a function h of s that will satisfy Rolle's theorem. So this is the function. So you now follow the style of proving the Lagrange theorem that I proved. So you need to find h of a, h of b. They must be equal to each other. You follow it and you prove it. Now let's take an example on this. So we want to verify Cauchy mean value theorem for these two functions in this interval and find the C. So without stressing ourselves, we know that this function will be continuous at any point in this domain. They also be differentiable, so satisfy Cauchy this thing. And we know that this one can never be zero if we differentiate it. Now, take our f of s to be s squared, and let's take our g of s to be s cubed. So from this place, f of 1 will be equal to 1 square, which is 1. F of the second one, which is f of b, will be equal to 2 square, that is 4. You know, our a is 1 and our b is 2. Similarly, we do the same thing for g. So g of 1 is 1 cube, which is 1. While g of 2, which is g of b, is 2 cube, that is 8. So if you have done that, the next thing is we need to find f prime. We need to differentiate. If you differentiate this s square, you are going to have 2x. And also, if you differentiate this, you are going to have 3s squared. So let's substitute to Cauchy mean value theorem. So by Cauchy mean value theorem, we have the following. So we have this by Cauchy mean value theorem. I will now substitute whatever I have there. F prime of c. Our f prime of c, instead of 2s, it will be 2c over g prime of c. For this one, instead of 3s squared, it will be 3c squared, equal to, then we need to find f of b, f of a. F of b has been given us to be 4, and our f of a is 1. Our g of b there is 8, our g of a is 1. So here we have 8 minus 1. So this is 3 over 7. So from this list, we have 2c over 3c. Sorry, 1c is cancelled already. This is 3 over 7. If you make c the zero formula, so our c will just be 14 over 9. And that completes the solution. Have a nice day.